Yeah, so hello everyone. Once again, we welcome to WeBird Talk About It podcast or virtual podcast show. Basically, what we do is that we talk to experienced guys who understand what showbiz is. You know, we have show and then we have the biz. Most of the time, we look at the show parts, but we don't talk about the biz part. So we have somebody who has been in the industry. And the good thing about Jay is that, or we having him on board, is that he has had conversations with a lot of people. So whatever he says is like a combination of all thoughts, like from different people, and then we are also going to benefit from that. Jay is an experienced guy. He has a lot of skills, but there's one skill that I believe he even doesn't know he has. So I'll tell him today. So what some of the skills are like? He's a radio broadcasting guy, broadcast television, sound engineering, professional voiceover artist. When it comes to the corporate space too, he has worked as a general manager at Global Media Alliance, CEO for radio advertising people, head of programming at Stray Music TV. And like I said, he has a skill that wasn't listed or haven't seen anywhere. And that skill is he is always available to help the upcoming ones. Maybe he doesn't know, but I'm telling him today. The reason why I keep saying that is that when I called on Jay that, this is what we are trying to do, he doesn't even hesitate. He gave us his time. And then there are things that he has done, like setting up 2131, which had the youth, most of the boys coming together, talented guys to also express their creative ideas. And then there's one that I used myself. One service that I use myself is the log on radio, where you have the song, but you don't know how to even promote it. He had all those plugs to allow us the upcoming one. So Jay, before we even get into the conversation, why do you have that skill? Or are you even aware? Is it because maybe you have struggled at some point? So because of that, you feel like, okay, let me help these upcoming ones. Let me be there for them. Or you just want to do for the praises, like, Charlie, I want fans. So make them give me fans. Why do you have that trait?
Well, Dakosa, thank you for the opportunity. And they say no platform is ever too small or too big. It's the knowledge that it imparts that's what's most important. So, it's an honor to be here and spend time with you for us to have meaningful conversations like this.
Yes.
I think with skill is always God given. So that's one thing that I would always want to put first. That skill is always God given. So I will just be thankful to God for even giving me the heart to be able to think about others other than myself at any point in time.
Yes.
So that in itself, it's let's just say it's spiritual, it's God. And then it drills down to how you are able to convert that God-given talent into something fruitful.
Yes.
So I just should be lucky that I probably identified this outwardness for me at a very early age, which transcends not only in the entertainment space, but this is just how I am, and that's just my make.
Yes.
That at any point in time, I'd rather want to give than always be the one at the receiving end.
Yes.
So for that is just a character trait of me.
Yes.
And I think that I've just directed that in the areas that I am most excited or most passionate about, which is finding myself in this showbiz space.
Yes.
So through that, it has also made me encounter a lot of people, not necessarily young, but old people as well, who have got diverse skills and interests that I always see it as an investment. Investment, not in financial investments, but just parting knowledge, time in itself, which is the biggest revenue that anybody can ever receive, because we all have limited time on this earth.
Yes.
So if you are blessed with more time in any way, you should make sure that is like the biggest currency that you can ever hold on to.
Yes.
So once I can give a bit of the time that I have or invest time into something or for someone, for me it is worth considering that as a fulfillment of my purpose of why I'm here.
Yes.
So influencing, imparting knowledge, time has become those character traits that has been God given, and I think that to some extent I'm using it wisely.
Right, and we really appreciate, like I said, I and others also, we really appreciate, because I joined 2131 at some point, and also I started using the log on radio too. Before we even delve into the conversation, I would like to know the motivation. Like, why did you set up 2131? What was the vision?
Yeah.
And then also the log on radio to what was the vision? Yeah.
Well, okay, just so that people do understand what these names you are mentioning are, I'll just date it back to as far back as about 21, 22 years ago.
Yes.
Yeah, very, very long time ago. I mean, I was really young, you're talking the teenage times. And in these times, I sort of identified a certain time frame in life where it for me it meant like if you don't do something worth it with those that time frame that you have in your life,
yes,
you just might lose it. So what time frame am I talking about? When you hit the age of 21, so ideally when you come out of university or any tertiary institution,
yes,
you are faced with the real challenges of what the world presents to you.
Yes.
Some people move out of their houses. Some people start finding work. Some people settle down. Some people get a bit more responsible by taking care of themselves.
Yes.
But these moments are decision-making moments, critical decision-making moments that you can't in any way lose track, make a wrong turning somewhere, because if you make a wrong turning in these moments, it just can affect you in the long while to come. So it's a certain very delicate time from the age of 21. It's a very delicate time in a young person's life.
Right.
Now, I then opened it up to a 10-year period from 21 to 31.
Oh, okay.
Because a lot of people at the age of 31, now they are settling in, they're settling down. Some want to get married and have kids. Some of them have found a certain career path they want to chart out, they want to follow.
Yes.
So there's a 10-year window or a 10-year opening that you must make good things happen. You must take the right decisions. So that 10-year window must come with mentorship, must come with training, must come with spirituality, must come with so many things.
Okay.
So at that point in time, I felt as though we, the young people at that time, didn't have a lot of some of these conversations going around. There were no podcasts like these to allow us to express ourselves on digital platforms.
Yes.
If you had any celebrity you were looking up to, there was no way you're going to be able to DM the person or hit the person up.
Yes.
So you were completely disconnected from people who have had real life experiences.
Yes.
So the idea of 2131 was to be able to create an enabling environment for young people to be able to connect with themselves.
Okay.
Connect with friends. Understand people's experiences. So maybe I've had a certain challenge in when I was 23 years old, and I can only share that challenge with another 23-year-old or another 25-year-old or another 19-year-old.
Yes.
If we both understand, because we both bear the same age brackets, we're in the same age group, we have the same understanding, we know ourselves, we should be able to impart knowledge and experiences to ourselves better. Sometimes when the older people are telling you, you see it as, please, you are old, your time is up. Yeah. But if you were telling me that maybe smoking kills or drinking kills or it can destroy you or stuff like that, and I see what it has done to you, God forbid, I should be able to learn better from you and make healthy decisions for myself. So 2131 became a very close-knit networking group, for young people at that time. And we set up so many things. We did so many things. We had so many engagements. Yes, we had parties, but these parties had meanings behind them. For example, we were trying to do a donation. At that point in time, I remember Kolebu Hospital didn't have a dialysis, a fully active dialysis unit. It just had about 4 dialysis machines. So most of the parties that we're throwing at that time, we're trying to use it to raise funds to purchase dialysis machines for people. So yes, we were going to the club and chilling and that with our club members, but equally there was a drive behind it. To identify that there were people who had various interests in travel, in music, in you name them. So we grouped ourselves in various sub clubs, and then we spread ourselves in all these communities. I was so much interested in the 2131 travel club, and through the travel club I connected with other people who loved travel. So we created a certain show called the Sky Marshals. And the Sky Marshals was a TV show. It aired on GH1, it aired on Joy Prime, it was on YouTube. We went around various destinations in Ghana just to promote our local culture, our local tourism as well. So these were all offshoots of 2131. Then comes the music club. So it's through the music club that ideas such as Log On Radio were birthed. So Log On Radio was as a result of the fact that there were so many underground artists or upcoming artists who didn't get a chance to get their song on mainstream radio stations. But equally, they also deserved that same platform because they had good products. We couldn't sit and we needed to come up with an idea that could solve a lot of be meaningful to a lot of people at the same time. So we created a platform that merged with radio stations that allowed the user, which is maybe you, an upcoming artist, to just go online, go on your phone, and upload your song onto the certain portal, and then the radio station would automatically download the song from their end and treat the song play as a commercial. And when I say commercial, it means that there's revenue attached to the benefit of the radio station. It's just that the revenues were not as big as Payola. People go and pay Payola. So for a minimum of about, let's say about at that time about $2 or $5, you could actually get your songs to be played on radio. At that time, the dollar was probably like less than 4 cedis or so.
I remember I paid, and it was good.
Yes, so you could get your songs on radio stations and just sit back and monitor. But there's one thing creating these ideas, and there's another thing, the Ghanaian also accepting these ideas. In the value chain of production, you have people who don't believe in some of these things, who don't see the future of some of these things, so they deliberately destroy it so that they don't make it stand. And that's one of the sicknesses that a lot of us have, as Ghanaians. And I wish one or the other that indiscipline will be curbed. So we faced our challenges. We had our challenges, but unfortunately, we were able to pull through. I think I also grew out of the age bracket 21-31. New direction came in, but I'm a product of what I set up. It has directed me, it's grown me. As at the age of like 25, I was already a general manager for YFM. You don't have a 25-year-old managing a radio station. It hardly comes up. If you check around, I don't think you have people at that age, being given the nod to manage radio stations. I'm a beneficiary of the product that we set up under 21-31, and like I said, that I became a general manager of a radio station all through networking, and at the age of 24, 25 thereabouts, yes, I was a general manager of a big radio station. At the same time, I was a television host of Foresight TV. It was arguably the biggest payment television show of its time. At that time. And all these things were opportunities that came my way as a result of networking. So we built 21-31. We built so many products out of it. But I guess with time, they say all good things must come to an end.
No, but for this one, we won't allow it to come to an end. We'll find a way to revive it. But like you saying that you started all these things in the 20s, and you just mentioned that you were around 24 then. It means you started these things very early, because J Foley is the name sounds very old, but when we see you in person, you are So why? We just want to understand, because there were a lot of it's not easy, finding your way in this space. So for you to be very young, did you have somebody holding your hand through these processes, or it was all you? Let me try, let me do this, how was it like?
There are people that were at certain points in time in my life where support. And I'll start off with my parents. I started with my parents, especially my mom, who believed in the ideology of be a go-getter. What you want to do, I'm not going to stop you. So number one, when I wanted to do music, she didn't stop me. When I wanted to be in the studio, she didn't stop me. She helped me acquire a studio. This is years back after tertiary education. Before tertiary education, I wanted to study the art of making beats as a producer. So my old boy, when I got involved with Ham of the Last Two, my old boy also invested in me being in my studio at Hash Hash Studios, which opened me up to a lot of musicians and industry folks at that time. Plenty, including them Tiny and them Kwakesi and Saminis and the Cocaines and Derba and Blitz, Basawule,
Yes.
all those at the time. I met all of them. VIP,
Yes.
Bookback. I knew all of them. 4x4. I knew all of them. They all knew Jay Foley, that small boy who comes to the studio and always be
Good.
by Hammer,
Yes.
how to make beats.
So
that was investment. Okay, go ahead.
No, yeah. So like mommy giving you that space, Poppy investing in beat production. I was about asking you, like, with sound engineering as part of your skills. So, like, how? We just want to know how, like, did you meet Hammer? Because Hammer is a huge name. Jay Foley is a huge name. So if you compare these two, Jay Foley, it's been. So how? Yes.
I called him another time. I called him. He used to use an Ariba number, space phone and number. Yeah.
Okay.
I called him. I called a friend of mine who knew him.
Okay.
And he sent me his number. And I called Hammer and I said I wanted to come and see him for a conversation. I mean, everybody was calling Hammer, but when I went to him, it's also always about also making a difference. I didn't go to Hammer that I wanted to rap because everybody else that went to Hammer wanted to learn how to rap. Okay. But Jay Foley went there just because naturally gifted and creative. Jay Foley went there and said I wanted to play beats.
Okay.
So he took me as his protege. He took me as his side kick. Okay. You know, his small brother he's grooming and mentoring. Yeah. And Hammer's a good heart as well. So Hammer said, he asked me my name, and I said my name was John Foley. And then he said that, I'm going to rename you. I'm going to call you Jay Foley.
Oh.
So Hammer named me.
So Jay Foley is from Hammer. Like Hammer did the naming for.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah, he just took out the name and he says, people. So my nickname in Motown was Johnny B. People used to call me Johnny B. Johnny B. That's my nickname. And then and Hammer says that he feels a brand name like Johnny B might not last me many years. Okay. So he renamed me and said that stick to your name, John. Keep your surname is Foley. Just call yourself Jay Foley. So I kept it Jay Foley, and since then it's been my brand
name. Yes.
And trade name. Yes. So I mentioned parents. I've mentioned Hammer.
Yes.
Then I met this young man called Lexus. Lexus owned the studio. And I started working with Lexus. Okay. And then I started doing voiceovers at Lexus Studio.
Yes.
And Lexus would always push you. He'd always push you to make money. He'd push you. He's ruthless. He'd push you to make money. Okay. So he pushed me, and I think I acquired the studio. I came back and purchased the studio with the help of my mom. Okay. I bought Lexus Studio for him. So now I had the freedom to work at my own time and pace. Along the line as well from Lexus, I met Ignis, the CEO of Foresight TV. Okay. Yeah. And he's also another crazy businessman, and they all have their flaws, but you learn from their flaws, you understand? Yes. You learn from it. So Ignis gave me a huge opportunity to be on television, which I had never dreamt of or thought of in my entire life. Right. Anyway, so you can imagine, with even up until 2007, the people who I had met in my life, these names I had met in my life, were people who had impacted my life heavily. Yeah. It expanded to people like Nana Kwame Osei Sapong, aka Knockers. He works with YFM. He was then the general manager of YFM. So when YFM was starting, Nana Kwame reached out to me that, listen, there's a new youth radio station coming up. He wants me to do station IDs and jingles for the station. So I created those world-famous YFM jingles, YFM, official frequency, young and the heart. I created those jingles for YFM. The owners liked it. They liked me. They invited me to the office. We had a conversation. I started working on YFM. And these owners I'm talking about of Glow Media Alliance are very huge media people. You know, you don't hear their name. Edward Boateng, you should Google Edward Boateng. Edward Boateng is work with CNN. You understand? These are huge names. And it's Boateng, Mr. Kwesi Agyeman. Kwesi Agyeman was the former. I don't know whether he's been changed or he's still there, but Ghana Tourism Authority CEO. Okay. These are people that I was meeting on a daily basis. So the kind of impact he had on me was massive, was huge. Yes. And all this up until 2007. You understand?
But you're very young then. Very young then.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, fresh grad. I'm in town. I'm in Accra. I've come from KNUST, and I'm having to meet all these people. So it was a quick, fast growth for me. Yes. And I met the likes of Bola Ray at that time as well. I knew Bola already because of Foresight TV. I knew Bola already, but I moved to EIB. Under EIB, I was the general manager I was program manager for Live FM, and then I became general manager of Live FM. Yes. I ran that station for about 2.5 years before I exited. And there are a lot of people I was meeting all these times. And then what you call it, Three Music came up, Joy Prime came up, Hits FM came up in my life. I worked there. Then I came to Three Music, and through all these times till now, my bro, like I've met people,
yes,
and it has impacted my life, changed my course at certain times, and then it's matured me as well.
You see, all these things that you are saying, and one thing I've come to realize, like in life in general, is that without passion, everything that we like, you try pursuing, at some point you just stop, because definitely you meet challenges along the line. Based on what you are saying, your journey is like passion driven. You found out what you loved, and then so from radio, beats, sound engineering, TV, and all. So like it's in that space, entertainment space, okay, that sort of thing. Okay. So now the thing is that based on what you were saying, at some point you transition from just the talent, I can talk, I can be on camera and all of those things, to now taking up managerial roles, corporate, roles and all of that. Would want to delve a little bit into your uni program you studied in uni, and then we now come back quickly to taking up all those positions. What program?
I get you.
Yeah.
Let me just tell that story. So I studied ceramics in my final year.
Okay.
In KNUST, which has nothing to do with what I was doing now. But KNUST didn't teach me ceramics. KNUST taught me how to be a man.
Okay.
How to survive in a place where you don't want to do what you're doing. That's what I took from KNUST. Yes. Okay. I would say my degree certificate from KNUST was not what I studied. It's what I did not study. It taught me how to survive what I didn't study. And it's good because it toughened me up. I didn't want to do ceramics in KNUST. I did integrated rural art and industry. It was a mix up of a lot of various courses in the College of Art.
Right.
And I love visual. That's in my space for a very long time. I love visual arts. I paint. I do landscape painting.
Oh.
So that's me. Yes. I love art. I play the flute. I love music. I play the keyboard. Yes. So that's my space. So I stuck to that area. But you mentioned administration.
Yes.
At a point in time, I noticed that it was not only about what was in front of the camera that was better.
Okay.
It was also about how it works at the back end. And in comparison with a lot of my mates, I decided to add that as extra knowledge. Okay. So I remember at YFM, when my first official corporate job came up, aside from being an on-air personality, I tried to understand programming. And my interest in programming sort of caught the attention of the bosses. So they threw the offer to me that would I want to be a head of programs at YFM. Okay. I said, who will turn down that offer? And then through that, I started, going for meetings, presentations, and it might sound petty, but it is learning all the basic corporate softwares, your Microsoft Office, understanding your PowerPoint and all those things, how to use them, Excel sheets. It's empowering yourself with these things that then attracts the corporate world.
Right.
So somebody sits back, so maybe Boda sits back and goes like, I need someone to manage my radio station for me.
Right.
And it looks at the category of young people that are in the country, not necessarily popularity. Then he identified that, listen, there's a young chap, Jay, who is influential on TV at that time. I don't know about now, influential on TV at that time, and influential and understands administration. So then I had armed myself, so my CV was thick.
Right.
You understand?
Right.
Remember when I was going for the BT Awards, for example, they wanted somebody who does radio and TV. And at that time, Jay was the only person who was working for two media houses beautifully without anybody complaining.
All right.
I was working at Foresight as a presenter, and I was working at Global Media Alliance as a radio personality. You can't do that now. You work at Joy Prime or Media as a TV personality and then do City FM in the app.
Right.
Yes, but Jay had that magic, and everybody around me understood.
Right.
Understand? At a certain point, there were problems, but then it sort of sorted itself out. So I learned the administrative part of it, and I think that has thickened my CV to make it attractive for anybody who wants to engage Jay in any way.
Right. So this now drags us into the main conversation today. That so most of the time we want to, Ghana is all about talent. I can rap, I can dance, I can rap, I can dance. But the whole thing is, there's business part of it. And like you said, that falls on the administrative side of things. Those people, you don't see them most of the time, let me be this as a joke. Most of the time, we do hear things like order from above or the big men. We don't see them. So, so I would like you to you have taken us through the journey, like the talents, now doing the administrative and then the behind scenes sort of thing. Okay. Now, let's say musicians, because you've been in the sound or the music space for a while now. First of all, what do you think is the problem with upcoming musicians, them not paying attention to what happens behind stage? Because at the end of the day, you can hear some of them saying that, oh, at the end of the crowd, be like they chop my money, and then when they drag them to court or when there's an illegal battle, those things, they pull out, or the people behind stage pull out the document which says that you signed it yourself. Oh. So I would like you to help us understand the show biz in the music industry, the business part of it. Yeah.
Okay. So first of the Costa, there's no problem with being ignorant of something. It's a part of life.
Right.
There's no problem if you know how the business works. There's no problem with it. You can only tell how white something is if you've seen black
before.
You can only tell how tall something is if you've seen short. You understand? You can only tell how slim something if you've seen thick. Right. So you can only make a comparison if you have been through the mill. It doesn't necessarily mean that we all make mistakes, but mistakes are a part of life, and that's what people need to understand.
Right.
That it is called. You can only love if you know hate.
Yes.
You can't. You can't tell the difference. You understand? Yes. So it is okay to make mistakes. It is okay to sign wrong contracts. It's okay to not understand the business of the music, because maybe that's not your forte. That's not your field. Right. That's not what you are interested in. Right. That's why there are people who are there to do that for you.
Okay.
And once you start off that journey, it is usually very common that you don't get people to help you. So you have to use, for want of a better expression, takashi, to try and survive the whole trip. Yes, it is very, very normal. Right. It's very normal. A lot of us are so passionate driven. You see, for people who find themselves in creativity is not something that you can put your hand on and say it's like a pill you take. Mm-hmm. It's inborn. It's your DNA. It's the way you think.
Yes.
And sometimes for the number of things that need to work in alignment before an idea pops up in your mind, it's heavenly. Somebody might find herbs as what drives his creativity. Yes. For somebody, he must be in a very quiet environment. It is charging the third force for you to be able to find that thing.
Right.
And once you are in that space, usually people like us, we don't do business.
Okay.
Business is math and numbers.
Right.
And that's another whole sphere on itself. So if you go back to primary school, you realize that there are people who like maths and people like English and literature. I'm a literature student, so I don't like maths. So it's not my space. So I won't expect me to be in that space.
Okay.
Now, it doesn't also necessarily mean that you shouldn't explore other areas because you are not interested. However, like I'm saying, it's fine to make the mistakes. So you have an upcoming artist who is so passionate, driven about his music.
Right.
And that thing in itself, we should never ever think that it is easy.
Okay.
It's not easy. My brother, it is as equally as difficult as carrying the cross of Jesus Christ up Calvary.
Right.
Because it is creativity.
Yes.
If I gave you a blank user interface music page on Fruity Loops, Cubase, Pro Tools, to design a song for me in 3 minutes, for me to like a song in 3 minutes, a lot of us would fail.
Yes.
So if you find an artist, and let's put emphasis on the word artist, if you find an artist that is able to create notes, musical notes, and arrange them in a perfect order for it to evoke emotions in you, the listener, then the person's done well. Yes. So, for example, if you hear a song coming from, let's say, Blacko, and you're like, whoa, I love this. It's magic.
Okay.
Yes, magic. If you hear a song coming from Samini, and you're from Sack, or from Shatta, or Stoneboy, and you say you like it, it's magic.
Yes.
From an engineer, a writer, a rapper, a singer, all those people in the value chain to create music.
You're right.
You don't expect that they should automatically also understand
the business. Okay.
The business and the strategy and those things. You don't have to blame them if they don't know. There are people for that. Okay. And coming across people in these two spheres to come together to work is difficult. It's almost like water and oil.
Yes.
Very difficult because in any business, the marketing manager and the finance manager always fight. Marketing always wants to spend, finance always wants to keep.
Yes.
So it is very well a space that is very difficult to mix. Some, very few, have cracked the code.
Okay.
Hence, where you find success working for them.
Okay.
So somebody has to be a business manager, and he's an artist. Over the years, he'll learn how to become a business person himself. But he's a creator. Okay. So it's okay if he decides to follow that space. He's lucky to have found a business manager. At that time, Sarkodie had what's his name? This guy as his manager. He used to be in Adom FM.
Forcing or Sammy Forcing?
No, before. Oh no, Sammy Forcing was before.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the guy. What's his name? I'm sure people want to come. Dr. Duncan. Dr. Duncan. He had Dr. Duncan, who understood the business of creating talent out of nothing. So he invested his time and his ideas into SAC, and boom, that was SAC. You understand? Right. So he's lucky to have had somebody. So it is okay for Sarkodie to have worked alone those years and not had anybody to guide him. Yeah. So all these people have managed to network with people who have given them the business ideology, and then they have been respectful and followed the craft, listened to get them to where they are now. So like I said, again, it's okay to find it hard. It's okay. It's a part of the process. Don't force yourself to know about the business too much. If what you should really have is the understanding to work with people. If you're going to ask God for any gift, to work with people who understand the other spaces. The same way, if I am your executive financial producer, or let's say of your brand,
right?
I won't come and tell you how to. I won't come and be involved in your studio process to say this or that. I can chip in ideas, but you are the creator. The same way you should also trust when it comes to my end, that I think that let's do it this way, that way. And once there's that synergy, both teams can work effectively.
Okay. So
if you don't find somebody who is that can manage your affairs business-wise, then the task comes back to you to force yourself to want to explore those places, like you were saying. Then now it becomes a part of the process for you to want to learn the business side of the show that you are engaged in, so you don't end up making mistakes. Because if somebody puts a contract before you, you should understand what contracts and MOUs are. If you don't understand what contracts and MOUs are, then you need to go back to school or go back to any platform that can teach you what a contract is. You understand? And understand that you must read every line to understand. But these things are basic. They are basic. You can't, if you sign a wrong contract because you didn't read, then that's because you were ignorant of how to live life. Because if you walk into what example can I give you? If you're buying something and you don't read what it is for, I go to a drugstore and I say I have a headache, and they tell me that they're going to give me multivitamin, and you don't know that as basic as painkillers relieve pain, then I don't know where you're coming from. You understand? These are basic things. The pharmacist, even though he or she knows the job, would not prescribe the wrong drugs for you. Because you know that painkillers deal with pain. Multivitamins will deal with energy boosters and health boosters. But this thing you are taught at basic education. And basic education is not only necessarily school, but it's home education.
Okay, so the next thing I would like us to talk about is when you were talking, you mentioned that for you to get the things or the right things done as the talent, it's not just about the talent. You need to know how to relate to people very well. I was talking to a friend this morning that he said he wants to sign up, I think, musicians and some talents. And what I was saying is that for me, I believe in passion more than the skill itself or the work ethics. So even if the person is not 100% talented, but the person knows, like, okay, we need to meet at this time. We need to do this at this time. For me, I prefer that to for you to be 100% good, maybe vocals and all of that. You have worked with a Tumpan, and I know that was under 2131 records. 2131 records.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I would, as part of the education and music or the business part of, the music industry, I would like you to take us through what it takes to become a successful artist. Aside the talent itself, your behavior, your work ethics, and all of that. That is one, and then the other part too is how you as the music, the manager, what the artist is supposed to know. So from distribution to publishing to all of that, we would like you to use him. Let's use him as a case study because he became successful. So as a case study from his parts, how he also helped you for you to get the work done properly. Yes. So that we learn from that.
Okay, so a part of the question went off on the network, but if I just grab what you were saying. Right. So let's take Itumpan as a case study. That's a long time ago.
Right.
Itumpan still does music, but he's more now of he's settled. He's in a different space altogether.
He's out of the 2131.
Yes, and he's much older. There are a lot of things engaged in his life now, so music isn't as priority for him as it used to be. Yeah. But a very simple case study is I remember his story first off. When that song came out, Small Girl, You Don't Know the Thing. That song was cooking. That song was introduced to me by one guy called DJ Perfect.
Okay.
He used to play for Samini. I don't know if he still plays for Samini though. Mm-hmm. DJ Perfect sent me the song. And then I remember I walked into my office in my studio, and then my office people played it to me as well.
Okay.
So I made inquiries. I was like, who's this guy? I want to know him. And when I spoke to him, he was in Winneba at that time.
Okay.
He's a teacher in Winneba. So I got him to come to Accra. I came to meet up with me. But I like his discipline because one, the artist in itself is a go-getter.
Right.
So he came to Accra, he came to wait for me. We met, we had a great conversation. I shared interest. And then I also realized the ton of work that was also lying on my head, which was to promote the music.
Yes.
Now, I can't do that alone. So I need a team.
Right.
So I set up a team. He had people and my people as well. Set up a team.
Okay.
And then we started looking for all ways possible to push the music.
Okay.
Interviews and all these things. Okay. Now, people need to understand that it's very normal for a platform owner to say no. I can call it, I want an interview, you can say no.
Okay.
Move on to the next.
Okay.
Go on to the next.
Okay.
So we kept on moving on and on and on and on, finding any means and ways possible. But also what people need to understand is that in business, I cannot sell a product that is inferior or that is not good.
Okay.
If I sell it, it might have a short lifespan. I can't. Okay. So if you do a song in the studio, it doesn't mean that all songs that you do are nice. And the fact that you did this in the studio with all the studio vibes and you're singing and you're ready to jam, it means that when it comes out, it's the same feeling everyone is going to have.
Right.
No.
Okay.
So artists would also need to understand that you can't sell every song. There are some songs that can't just be sold. They're not good.
Okay.
So it can't buy mass market attention. You understand? That's one. So Itumpan's song was a song that was good at that time.
Okay.
And it had mass market appeal. So we just tried to find the target group. And that's the second thing I'm coming to. The target group that needed to hear the song.
Okay.
And we pushed our energy there.
Okay.
You don't expect that all the songs that Shatta Wale will release, my mother will like it or my father will like it.
Yes.
You may be fans of Shatta.
Right.
So you need to find where his fans are and push the song to them.
Okay.
So for someone like Shatta Wale, he found out that his internet, his following, his target group are the people that will like his music, and he knows where to find them. So when he does a song, he doesn't need to bring it to a J Foley at 3 Music to play for him.
Okay.
He knows where the people are.
Okay.
If he brings it to me, it's an added value, but it doesn't mean that that's a priority.
Okay.
So we found Itumpan's target market, and we found the target market. We also noticed that the diaspora liked his music.
Okay.
I didn't need to push his music in Ghana any longer because his songs were being played in Europe.
Oh.
So I was like, what am I spending money pushing the music in Ghana for?
Okay.
You understand?
Right.
So I remember we connected with DJ Brandt here, one of the godfathers of Afrobeats music in the UK.
Right.
And then he was like, "Yo, the song is buzzing here. Let's see what we can do."
Okay.
So we connected. So that's what people also need to understand. Jay could only raise Itumpan here. Somebody else would need to take him and go on there.
Okay.
So we kept on. You keep on handing over to people, and I think in the same vein, there are artists that have handed over their management to other bigger record labels, but still have ties with their local record labels.
Right.
And it's fine.
Okay.
It's very fine. It's just business. It's behind the scenes. What am I earning? That's what's most important.
Okay.
So it's implying myself, DJ Brandt here. We had a good common with a clear business understanding of where we wanted to publish Itumpan's music to or through.
Right.
So we started elevating the conversations there.
Okay.
We didn't wait. And that's the thing. You don't have to wait because music has got lifespan. Some songs will go cold quickly. So we didn't wait at all. And that's one thing that artists need to also learn.
Okay.
And a song in itself needs to grow.
Okay.
Growth happens in various ways.
Okay.
Refixes, reorchestrations, remixes. These are all ways of consuming the same song.
Okay.
Acoustic versions. They are always.
Okay.
So once you release a song and the song is doing well, you need to start considering all these other fruits from the song and where to put them.
Okay.
Maybe my old man wants to enjoy the jazz version of Small Girl. You don't know that thing. But I just want to sing the actual lyrics.
Okay.
Who knows? So give him a version as such and put it in a place on a certain jazz platform that he can consume there and find it there.
Yes.
So artists also need to understand how to just diversify their music,
okay.
And put it there. And then another thing too is an artist also needs to realize that every time I interview most artists and I ask them, "What's your specialty?" "Oh, I can do everything." I can. I'm like that. You are not God.
Okay.
I mean, you can sing and rap, but that doesn't mean that you can do jazz, can do this, can do that, can do that.
Okay.
Specialize in one area and let that be your strength and your stronghold.
Okay.
And then through that, you build your side, and then all those label conversations will come in. When it comes, then it can allow growth.
Okay.
And it's also important that now in the digital day and age that we are in, the promotion of music has changed.
Right.
Millions of platforms now are available to promote your music.
Right.
All these Tidals and Spotify's and Boomplays and all are all platforms to put the music on.
Right.
But those ones only feed to certain markets as well. So what about the guy in Swedro who hasn't got access to the same privilege that you want because the capital city where everything is so focused on?
Yes.
How do you get your song to them?
Yes.
Don't turn it down.
Okay.
Try and grant yourself interviews there. Try and push your songs on the street there. Use the same means to promote it. You understand? And it's very, very important that we artists also now open their hearts and their minds to listening to people, professionals who are in the space.
Right.
Because sometimes they get so clouded in the work and in the flash in a pan reactions on social media that they get 2 likes, 3 likes, 4 retweets, and 10 comments. They feel they've arrived.
Right. Yes. So
and for the consumer, there are too many things to consume.
Mm-hmm.
So me stopping by to comment on your song doesn't mean that you've won my heart entirely.
Right.
I would move on to the next. Just as I found time to come and comment on yours and follow you, it's the same way I left someone to come to you. Same way and continue, and it goes on and on. So key things I'm putting out there is number one. Make sure your song is marketable.
Right.
Make music marketable.
Right.
Number two, feel free to learn and connect with people who are in the business world to give you more insights.
Okay.
Do not limit yourself, number three, to platform to only specific platforms. You only put your songs on digital platforms and you expect it to blow.
Right.
It doesn't work like that.
Right.
The world has so many dynamics. Plenty of people are there.
Right.
People are listening to radio as well.
Yes.
Feed into the DJs, feed into the clubs, feed into the streets. Mm-hmm. If it means you have to move, but don't over invest in one song if it's not pushing.
Okay.
For all you know, that's the benefit of that song.
Okay.
Move on to the next. That's why God gave you abundant talent.
So you can
move on to the next.
Yes. So you
don't hold back.
Yes. Like you right.
Yeah.
Like you rightly said. You mentioned when you were talking. You said that you were, if the song a Tumpan song was blowing outside, you didn't see the need of you pumping much, like a lot of money in Ghana. Right now, you also said you don't have to invest more if the song is not going. Like you get to know that the song is not going anywhere. So then the big question is, what that simply means that you need some big bag of money to push this.
I mean, I mean, I wouldn't sit here and say you don't need money. You need money. You will need money. Yes, you will need money. If you want to do the big things, you need money.
Okay.
No two ways about it. You need money. However, so then you need to make sure that your product is so good that it will require less investment to get you there.
Okay.
And like again, the beauty of making songs in studio, and that's why I always fight artists that I understand studio work very well.
Yes.
Because I was born into that.
Yes.
The monitors and your own lyrics. It's like your own saliva in your mouth. It's nice.
Okay.
But it doesn't mean that if you spit it out, you expect somebody to swallow it.
Good.
It's yucky to somebody.
Good.
It's ew to somebody.
Good.
Understand?
Good.
So in the studio, your song might be the biggest thing. Bring it out that it's not working. If it's not working, move on to the next.
Right.
Don't wait. Move on to the next. See, I used this analogy some years back to describe a similar situation.
Okay.
And I said to the person that when you bring your song to me at the radio station to play for you, I have 1 hour. Let's say a DJ has got an hour to play songs.
Okay.
In that 1 hour, the presenter is going to talk.
Yes.
The presenter will talk for about 20 minutes or 30 minutes in total.
Right.
We'll play commercials in that 1 hour. That's another maybe extra 10 minutes. So that's 40 minutes. So truthfully, the DJ has about 20 minutes to play songs.
Yes.
Now that 20 minutes, that DJ must select songs that are of popularity, have a certain popularity and of value to the listener. So his selections will be based on a lot of things before he choose your song.
Okay.
Now, when a DJ types on his laptop, let's say B, let's say S in his library, and I'm just drilling it down for you to understand this.
Right.
Types S in his library. He's on air, he's playing music, he's jamming, his headphones are on, he's looking for a song to play and types S. Mention the names of S artists that will come up.
Off the top, I'm
not limited to Ghana.
Not Ghana. Okay, off the top,
Any.
I know maybe Shatawale will come to mind, Sarkodie, Stone Boy, and then maybe outside.
Hold it right there.
Yes.
Hold it right there. These three names you've mentioned, the catalog of music alone. If the DJ types S on his laptop, you have over 100 songs of these three artists showing first.
Yes.
Before you, Samuel, with one song.
Right.
Will come. After a lot of Shatter songs, before your Samuel song will come up.
Yes.
It means that you, Samuel, must have released another 100 songs, so flooded in the DJ's library. So when he types S, the probability of like a search engine of your song popping up on his
list of
deck.
Yes. Okay.
Good. So it means that as an upcoming artist, you can't sit back, release 3 songs and compete with an artist that has worked over 20 years with over 100 songs.
Oh, okay.
And you have 3 songs. You said, no, this year I want to release 3 songs.
Okay.
And you release 1, 2, 3 and you relax. Really? Somebody might disagree with me.
Right. But
the thing is that you should understand it's so competitive that the forces that will push your song away from not being popular are much more than what to put it out in the forefront.
Okay.
So you don't have to limit yourself. So for us, you have the facility, release it.
Okay.
After all, nobody cares whether you've released 10,000 songs before the next one was a big hit.
Okay.
We don't care.
Right.
So when that one song hits, people will now start looking back at your catalog, and they'll start going back looking for your other songs.
Okay.
Understand?
So do you think then quality over quantity shouldn't be the case in this space?
No. Quality and quantity.
Okay.
Should be the case.
Okay. Quality and quantity.
Good song.
Right.
Yes, because you don't have anything to lose.
Okay.
Nobody is following your format. That's in 2023, this new guy released only 3 songs.
Yes.
Nobody cares.
Yes.
3 or 1,000 release songs. Understand? And keep pushing it out and be consistent on it. People might disagree with me on this, but it's fine.
Yes.
It's from what I have seen.
Okay.
Some artists were lucky. One song, boom, it blew them.
Yes.
Others are not lucky. And if you fall into the category of those who you're not lucky, then make sure you keep releasing, be consistent, as many songs as you can, till that one picks people's minds. And when it happens, you can join the league of those who release once a year.
Yeah, so even saying this, I can relate to this guy, Kweku Smoke. So I was listening to his songs. I like one of his songs, Ejekum. So when I was listening to that, I realized that he released 2 albums, I think EPs or albums, 2024. Then I checked in 2023, he did 2 albums, like collections. So it comes back to what you're saying, that currently, if he should start performing, there are a lot of songs that people like jam to. Yes. Which I
he has no restrictions on it.
Yes.
And Kweku Mano is not an upcoming artist. He's established. He's done.
Yes.
He pulled his audience. He's done. But he's got a beginning. He's got a beginning. So you are starting off. Don't limit yourself as an artist.
Okay.
Don't limit yourself. Keep pushing yourself. Keep releasing music. Don't try and go with the trends of people who have really released already and are big artists. And don't do that. Keep pouring out your music till that one, the platforms don't give you only a limited space to release your music. It's unlimited. You can release 100 songs. It's fine. It's all up to you.
Okay. But
just find quality music to release as well.
Right.
Yes, I believe in quantity, but also have quality at the top of your mind.
Right.
So that one works. When it works for you, you're gone.
So Jay, we thank you very much for joining us. But before we go, we'd like to share with us some of your recent projects and some of the upcoming ones so that we can follow. But in this project, we would like you to give us a touch of maybe 2131 and then Log On Radio. Is there going to be? So we just want to know your recent projects, upcoming ones, and we hope and believe that 2131 or Log On Radio would be in there somewhere.
I see you like these 2 products a lot. But anyway, talking about recent stuff, I also worked on an audio series called Lead. Which is also a series that I was looking for a specific market. It worked on that market very well. Very young people. It was an audio series. It was a story of a young girl who was raped when she was 21 years old. By 4 guys. And she narrates her story. It's amazing. It's on YouTube. You can just type Lead series. I think YouTube is missing some parts, but it's fine. You'll still enjoy it. It was an audio series, and now we are converting from audio to visuals. So it's working in the pipeline. These are my recent personal projects that I'm on, but I'm also heavily involved in Work at 3 Music as well. It's going to be a great 25 year for us, and we have a number of things lined up. And also in my other personal life, which is my recording studio Trap, we are still open for business. We do radio commercials. We have at Michael is doing very well, so we are grateful to God for that. Nothing in the Log On Radio space, the music promotion space. I haven't done anything in that space as well. And I've been trying to see ways to revive 2131, but to be very honest, I think age and time has caught up with me. But let's see who we can mentor to take up such things. And kudos to the likes of Echo House and Co, who have also been able to establish huge brands as they have now, and massive products like Tidal Rave and them. So it's good. Even if we're not able to revive ours, others are doing it. So it's still the same culture.
Before we say goodbye, my last question is, what will you do if your kid brother walks to see you kissing the same sex? You know where this question is coming from. I know you know.
I did that because I did that my time back. I'm not a convener for LGBTQ of any sort, so I disregard that, and I condemn that anyway. So it's definitely been a conversation that we have to have.
The reason I raised that is you asked the guys there, and so I also decided to now ask you. I want to know what you think.
We'll have to have a conversation. See. But anyway, thank you so much as well.
Thank you very much. We really appreciate your time. Thank you very much. All right, sure.
You're welcome.
Bye.
All right, and shout out to all your fans and followers as well. Peace out.
All right, bye.